All right, welcome, boys and girls, to another edition of Friday Night Live. I am the Pet Man Matt Morrow, and I believe I'll be solo tonight. So please post your scores, and let's go over what happened tonight. And it was an eventful night of high school football. We had a lot of good action. You know, you get to the middle of the season, you get the conference play. This is where the money is made. So, you know, teams are pulling out trick plays. They're pulling out, reverses and all kind of stuff that they may have worked on, all preseason and pre-conference to now win these big important conference games to try to make it to the state playoffs and advance from there.
Podcast is out there, and with over 2 million.
Okay, technical issue. Sorry about that. But we got a couple comments. Let's see who's here. Oh, Big Shelby. 72-0 over Highland Tech. Well, congratulations on that win, Big Shelby. I can't say that that's a surprise because we knew what that situation was going into that game. But nonetheless, man, that's a good way of getting it done. That's good stuff right there. This one, when it came across, some people were surprised, but, when I talked about it on Between the Lines, I said, this has the chance to be a really good game. And this was one of those, I think we called them games that can change a season. And North getting this win over Mallard Creek on their homecoming, 17-14. And I saw, on Twitter that the game was sold out. And I saw some people, sent me messages about trying to get into the game, and they were disappointed that they couldn't get in, and I'm sure it had to be a great atmosphere, but that's a huge win for Northmack to go on the road and get that done in conference play, and that's one of those breakthroughs because it's been a few years since Northmack was kind of a factor in the conference race, and now that win kind of flips things around. You look at Chambers and Huff as the top two teams in the in that conference, but that third place team is probably going to be a wild card team based on the competition they're playing and the new RPI system. So this goes a long way into putting Northmack into that conversation. So now that's going to be a fun race to watch, from that perspective for sure. And I saw, I think it's Devin Cunningham tagged me in an incredible catch, and I've looked at it several times because I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And let me see if I can get it on here. I don't know how big this will be, but we'll find out together on how this looks. So let me try to find that real quick. And I see you guys commenting, and then we'll get to those games in just a second. But I'm going to try to get this on the screen here. So let's see here. Let's try this out. All right. We're going to try to... I'm going to try to let it play and then blow it up. We don't want any sound there. All right. Here we go. He's the tight end right here. Man, that's a crazy catch right there. You got double coverage coming down the middle of the field. It's good stuff, man. Did he catch that on his head? Is that what I'm seeing? See, I keep seeing it because I know it's a heck of a play when you got double coverage and the safety coming over. But anyway, I wanted to share that. Make sure you go check out, that play on his Twitter right there. But once again, congratulations to Northmack. That's a huge, huge win for those guys. All right, Chris Hagler coming in with Hickory Ridge 42, South Iredale 16. Hey, let's try another one. That Lineman Pass, I forgot who tweeted that out, but Hickory Ridge ran a Lineman Pass, a jump pass that was just incredible. I'm gonna try to find who tagged me in that because I think this is it right here. Yeah, here we go. Let's try to get this on the screen. So let's share that back. and I want y'all to take a look at this because y'all know I love linemen, and we interviewed Hickory Ridge's offensive line, the Filthy Five is what they said their name was, and we're gonna try to get this on here and let y'all take a look at it. Let's that sound off of there. All right, big lineman right here. You think he's gonna be Wildcat, but he stops and throws the jump pass right there to that young man, and I mean, this is amazing stuff, man. This was my dream, you know. My dream was to either throw a pass as a high school lineman or run. I had it drawn out. It was gonna be a guard reverse. I was gonna pull like I was gonna go block somebody, but then they were just gonna give me the ball, and I was just gonna keep going. So, man, that's awesome right there. That's awesome stuff, man. Lineman pass for a touchdown. I mean, you'll be talking about this the rest of your life. So, I mean, that's what it's all about. That's what high school football's all about, man. It's about having fun, man. That's dang on having fun. So, congratulations to Hickory Ridge on the win and making memories. That's what it's all about. Good stuff, man. All right. Let's see. Kyle Smith checking in, the chat administrator. Lake Norman won an extremely physical game over West Cabarrus. Heard several "we want Mooresville" chants tonight. Well, hey, you know, it's a rival, man. That's what rivals are all about, you know. Speaking of a rivalry, that's where I was tonight. I was at the Battle of Allegheny. Barry coming over to take on Harding. Barry won that game 24-14. You know, they did Harding did a very nice tribute to Dr. Eric Ward, the principal, that unfortunately passed recently. They released 46 balloons in honor of him. I put that on Twitter. There were some other things that were done that, you know, I'll try to get out there that I, you know, were able to capture on the camera. But, yeah, interesting game. You know, Harding dominated the first quarter. They led 6-0 after one. Barry, when Jaleel Quick came in the second quarter at the quarterback spot, he didn't start the game. I didn't ask about why, but as soon as he came in, Barry just seemed to flip a switch, and they scored 21 points in the second quarter, 2 off of touchdowns, offensive touchdowns. Khalid Gamber Bay had a short touchdown run, and then Jaleel Quick hit Antoine Bell with a nice quick out route pass from the H-back spot. He took it the distance. And then there was a pick six by number 25, James Brown, that really flipped the momentum. And it was 21-6 at halftime. You know, Harding had, you know, a couple opportunities to cut the lead down. Barry defense, you know, rose up and made plays. But Harding was able to cut it to 21-14 right at the start of the fourth quarter. Barry was able to come right back on that next drive, and they got a field goal from Mr. Kaufman, one of the best kickers in the CMS Best. Made it 24-14. And from there, you know, Barry was able to do enough on offense and defense to pretty much just kind of run the game out and get the victory. So they moved to 2-4 on the season. Harding drops to 2-5, and the Battle of Allegheny trophy stays on the other side of Allegheny. So we'll have some highlights, you know, from that game up on Instagram. I'll try to do them tonight, if not tomorrow, but I'm going to do my best to get them done tonight. You know, I've got to congratulate, you know, Barry for getting it done once again. And, you know, their seniors and their best players, you know, made plays. One of the things I talked about before the game on Between the Lines was if this was a higher scoring game, it would favor Barry. Lower scoring would favor Harding. And, you know, Barry got in the 20s. And, you know, once Barry got into the 20s, I kind of felt like, you know, they had the upper hand. Harding's best player, wide receiver Octavian Davis, did not play tonight. And obviously, you know, you lose your best player, especially on offense. You know, it makes, you know, a difference. But I thought some guys really stepped up. Diego Parks threw 2 touchdown passes. Jamonte Mobley, number 5, you know, really had a strong game at the receiver spot. I think he's a kid that, you know, can kind of grow off opportunity. So, but anyways, that's Barry and Harding. Excuse me. So, you know, both of those teams now with 2 wins. you got to keep winning and try to, possibly get a wild card spot here, because the SOMEC conference is really, really strong overall. All right, let's go back to the comments here. Where were we? Let's see here. All right, Terrell Pinckney, South Point 28-18 over Catawba Ridge. South Point got a pick six to seal the victory. Big win for South Point. It's good to see them bounce back off of that loss last week to Spring Valley, and that and they're opening. I think this opened region play in the upstate in South Carolina, so that's a good win to open region against a good team, Catawba Ridge, who was I believe ranked 8th in 4A, and South Point was ranked number 2 in 4A in the polls they do across the border. So very strong, good stuff for South Point. I'm gonna see them in a couple of weeks when they play Indian Land. That's on my calendar for October 15th. So I've been I've been wanting to see them for a while. It just keep not working out, but we're gonna be there. Lord, hopefully nothing happens, but we'll be there October 15th for that game. All right, let's see here. Mount Pleasant. I'm sorry, that's Robbie Jones. Mount Pleasant over South Stanley, 44-0. We previewed that game. That's the last game we previewed on Between the Lines, and I kind of felt like once I looked at South Stanley and I looked at Mount Pleasant, that was going to be the case. So, good job for Mount Pleasant. Big win, and I'm glad to see them. They're kind of getting things back on the run there. So good stuff. Okay. Let's see. Andy Rodden. He's the resident guru at scheduling games. Kings Mountain 28, Forest View 14. So that's a big win for Kings Mountain. I think I saw Forest View was up in that game early on. Maybe I misread that on Twitter. I was getting my updates, but that's good stuff. That Kings Mountain. I think they've won 5 in a row now, and that gives them an inside track to the conference title. Forest View, no shame there. I mean, they played a good team tough on the road. The way these playoffs work, maybe they'll see them again. But congratulations to Kings Mountain. And I'm gonna have to look at the Cleveland County rankings because there are Kings Mountain people that are mad at me. I put them out there and they say, "How are we 4th?" It was vicious. I was a little worried. I don't know. I'm going to Cleveland County next week for Shelby and Chris. I might have to park in a well-lighted area or something. But anyway, all right. Michael Buck. Lake Norman 17-3 over West Cabarrus. Yeah, as Kyle said earlier, he said that was a very physical game. And prayers up. I think there was a young man from West Cabarrus that was injured pretty seriously. So, prayers up to that young man, and hopefully he's okay. Hopefully we can get an update and make sure he's doing all right. So, little insight on Forest View. Okay, Karen. Forest View played without their punter, wide receiver, and running back. Jacob Neely for Forest View got a pick 6 and played about 5 positions. That Jacob Neely, man, he's a player. He is a player. Shout out to him. Good stuff right there for Jacob. All right. Kyle with Myers Park 13-7 over RGK. We actually had 2 people there. We had Michael McCarver, who is one of our good buddies. Went out there and took some beautiful pictures. I retweeted some of the stuff he tagged me on Twitter, and I know he'll have an album to share at some point. And then our Justin Adams was there, but I'm gonna tell a funny story. He's gonna kill me for this, but so we're at Harding and Berry, me and the producer. So he texts me, and he says, "Hey man, I'm at the game. I went to Myers Park RGK. I'm at Myers Park." And I looked at him, and he sent me laughing emojis, and I said, "Look, Brandon, you went to the wrong school." So they played at Audrey Kelly with the Myers Park tonight. So I put it out there on Twitter that it was a game time decision on where he was gonna go, and he tagged me. He decided he went to AK and Myers Park. So I'm gonna have to further educate him on where the teams play, so he goes to the right place. But anyway, the impressive thing here is Myers Park winning with defense once again. That's something the producer mentioned on Football Focus Weekly Wednesday night. Their win over Cardinal Gibbons was low scoring, and they won with defense. So that's good to see. That's good to see because we know Myers Park has some good offensive ability, but their defense is coming through in big games against good teams. So that's a strong suit, and hopefully for them that continues to come to fruition. Ardrew Kell, this was a Summit Conference game, so Myers Park won one of the big games they need to win. Now, the next big game we're going to look at in that conference is Myers Park versus South Meck, because South Meck was off this week. I'm sure they were probably scouting this game because they're both conference opponents. But Myers Park has the inside track to the conference title. South Meck still has a chance to get there, obviously, because they haven't played AK or Myers Park yet. So it'll be a fun race to watch down in the SOMAC. All right, the Queen. Defensive game at Coxmill, 16-3 the final. Coxmill pulling it out over A.L. Brown. The Queen does have an interview with Tyrell Cord, the Coxmill running back. It'll be on Twitter at some point. But that's a big win for Coxmill. They had to kind of right the ship. They had lost a couple in a row, and you don't want that thing to keep going down. And now A.L. Brown, is in that boat now because, they've lost a couple in a row. I think 3 in a row now. And, you just want to give, you want to try to, get that thing turned around. You don't want to let a hole become a sinkhole and, start festering and, all kind of things start popping up when, losing streaks happen. So, but big win for Coxmill. Congratulations to those guys. Getting into the little conference race a little bit. Because now you want to start thinking about positioning, and then your RPI for wild cards if you're not in the top 2 seeds and all that. So, good stuff at Coxmill. All right, Kyle Smith back. Reagan 52, Davey 14. Davey, that offense, man, maybe something's happened, but that offense hadn't been hitting like it was, the past few games. So, congratulations to Reagan on a big win there. Let's see here. All right, thanks for this update, Jessica. Stuart Kramer and Ashbrook varsity playing Thursday night instead of Friday night this coming week. That's good. I mean, I'd love to know why, but more football we can cover, the better. We might go. Well, no, I can't. That's JVs. I can't take away from the JV kids. But I will tell you, while we're on the subject, Tuesday night I'm going to try to go and cover Mountain Island and Pine Lake Prep. They're playing. They're making up a game that they couldn't play a couple weeks ago, and I believe, of course, Kyle would kill me if I don't mention. And there's the message. Come up to Mooresville for some good Monday night football. Providence at Mooresville at 6 p.m. If you're coming from Providence and Charlotte, I would leave by 3:30. You might make it by 6. Charlotte traffic is terrible going up 77. Oh my gosh. Anyway, but that's awesome. I'm glad they're able to play that game. There was a lot of disappointment last night when I was at Providence doing the JV game of the week when the news kind of started trickling out. So that's good stuff. All right, Jessica sharing Stuart Kramer 33, Huss 8. Good win for Stuart Kramer. We all know Hunter Huss is young and they're kind of rebuilding. But, Stuart Kramer has been in some games here the past couple of weeks with some good teams. And, this is one of those teams that, you get a first-round game, you're a higher seed, and Stuart Kramer gets in as a low-seed wild card. You don't want to see Stuart Kramer because they have talent, and they got a quarterback that can be dynamic and a dual-threat guy. And those kind of teams can give you headaches if you don't bring your A game in the first round of playoffs. So that's that's a team to watch when you start looking, get closer to playoff time and seeing in the RPI who could be a wild card team possibly. James Smoot, good guy right here. Butler 57, Eastmack 0. Is that an egg or is that a goose egg? That's pretty creative right there. It's pretty creative. But big win for Butler. I think everyone is kind of waiting for the Butler-Charlotte Catholic matchup. I mean, even when the conference came out, that was the game everyone was kind of circling as the de facto conference championship. So I think that game happens in a couple of weeks. I think it might be the 15th because I was kind of looking at when that might happen. But another good win for Butler, and it looks like they got the offense going. And that's awesome for Coach Hales and those guys down there. Let's see. Scott Curtis chiming in on Myers Park AK. Lost the game. Oh Lord. Come on, Scott. We can't say that now. Games, are always, there's a lot of different things that go into games, and you can point to specific plays, but everything happens in a game for different reasons. I mean, I can tell you as a former OC, you call certain plays in certain situations because you're set up to be in certain situations. If you're getting backed up field position, you may not call a different set of plays than you would if you're, in plus 50 territory. If you get a defensive look that you're not, you didn't plan on seeing, then, sometimes it takes you a drive to, get your stuff together or adjust or talk to your kids. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that can happen, One of the things that I always say, and a long time ago, I used to be a JV defensive coordinator. And I used to tell the guys, if they don't score, they can't win. So if we lost the game, say 10-7, I would, the defensive coaches would be like, why didn't you score more? And I'd be like, hey, you gave up 10 points. That's why we lost. So that's just a little coaching humor. But anyway, there's a lot of factors that go into, winning and losing and, all that stuff. And sometimes, it's easy to point the finger, but, any coach worth his salt would say they had to do certain things better all three phases, so. But I get it. I do get it. I really do. All right, let's go to the scoreboard. See what else we got here. So Huff beat Westmeck 53-0. Huff continuing to roll as the number one team in the Dirty Dozen and in pretty much every poll around the state. Let's see. West Charlotte big win over Hopewell 55-19. Excuse me. That's the second week in a row West Charlotte has put up 50-plus points. Good stuff for them. Let's see here. Charlotte Catholic over Rocky River 30-13. The Battle of the Ridges. We had a 2-minute and 30-second debate on Ridges, Football Focus Weekly, that, didn't settle anything for me. But Marvin Ridge over Porter Ridge 16-14. That's a big win for Marvin Ridge. Good stuff. That puts them back, probably above Porter Ridge when we get to the Union County rankings. So that's going to be an interesting ranking to do coming up next week. Big game in the SPC. West Rowan defeated Northwest Cabarrus 41-6. So West Rowan continuing to control a part of first place in that conference. Central Cabarrus over South Rowan 29-12. I think that's Central Cabarrus' first win on the season. Congrats to those guys. East Gaston. Hey, I picked East Gaston and they won. Thank goodness I got one pick right. Good Lord. 42-37 over Thomas Jefferson. What a game. Wow, East Gaston. That's fun stuff to watch right there. But East Gaston, they're a team of veterans, and they got a couple of younger guys. The running back Hill, getting it done. The younger quarterback is talented. Um, and shout out to East Gaston, man. They've been down for a while, and they're having a really good season. And they're tracking now. That win over Thomas Jefferson puts them, I believe, third in that conference. So they're tracking toward a wild card berth possibly in the playoffs. Good stuff, man. Ashbrook over North Gaston 47-20. That's Ashbrook's first win of the season. Providence Day recovers from a tough loss on the road at Christ School, 55-7 win over Country Day. Charlotte Latin keeping it going. They introduced to the poll at number 12 in the Dirty Dozen, and they win over Christ School at home, 24-14, to remain undefeated on the season. Charlotte Latin rolling. Good stuff, man. Nation Ford, after their win over Harding last week, they shut out Fort Mill in the Milltown Showdown, 35-0. Good stuff. Weddington on the board, 49-0 win over Piedmont. York handing Indianland its first loss of the season, 19-13 at Indianland, a beautiful new stadium down there. Congrats to York on that. Metro Christian, big win over Trinity Christian, 42-6. Good job for those guys. Hickory Grove Christian and Coach Balcom, we talked about him on Football Focus Weekly, 18-8 win over Southlake. They remain undefeated on the season. Team to watch in the private school ranks. Good stuff right there. Let's see. Parkwood, our buddy Coach Gittins, Queen City Senior Bowl coach, getting a win over Forest Hills, 39-29. J.M. Robinson, 66-0 over Albemarle. Battle of the Bulldogs. The Robinson Bulldogs are better. Is this score correct? Winston-Salem Prep over Mountain Island 42-14. If so, Winston-Salem Prep came into that game 0-4, and I'd like to verify that. But anyway, we'll check on that. Pine Lake over Christ the King 41-16. Good win for those guys. Concord winning again 27-7 over Carson. They're keeping in a share of that SPC race with West Rowan tied for first place. Good job for Concord. Great stuff, man. East Lincoln over West Iredale 45-0. Burns over Bessemer City 42-0. Coach Devine, another Queen City Senior Bowl coach, getting it done. Community School of Davidson keeping it rolling after their win over Mountain Island, 35-12 over Carver. Let's see here. That might be about it. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention this one. Joe Hughes was at the game of the night. Crest over South Point 27-26. Hey, I know he tweeted out that South Point missed a field goal at the end of the game to try to win that. But big win for Crest, keeping pace with Kings Mountain for that Big South 3A conference lead. So awesome stuff. We'll see Crest next week when me and the producer are going to Shelby. Northwestern keeping it rolling down in Rock Hill, 52-22 over Ridgeview. And that's what we got. That's it. All right. Let's see. Oh, okay. So what was the score in that game? Because I just saw they had it Winston-Salem Prep beating Mountain Island. So you tell me Mountain Island won. I'm assuming that's accurate because I that's just based on what I've seen and what I know about Winston-Salem Prep. So, but anyways, all right. I think we're right at the limit. Yeah. So next week I'll be trying to do some coverage up at Mountain Island. Oh, thank you, Daryl. So that was accurate. Mountain Island over Winston-Salem Prep, 41-6. Thank you. I try to score stream is usually pretty good, but every now and then you get a little, mix up in there. But anyway, next week we'll be doing some coverage. Most likely on Tuesday night we'll be covering Mountain Island at Pine Lake Prep at Mountain Island. Of course, because of that, between the lines, I may try to do it Monday night, and if I do it Monday night, it'll be live. So come join me for that. We go for about an hour, getting in depth into some specific matchups for the next week. Wednesday night, of course, is Football Focus Weekly with the family. And then Thursday, JV Game of the Week. I'll tell you right now, JV Game of the Week will be Southmack at Ardrey Kell. I've had some very persistent young JV players in my Instagram inbox about wanting to be the JV Game of the Week. So, I don't put it to a vote. I'm trying to, get around to as many, JV teams as I can. And then Friday night, like I said, me and producer will be at Shelby and Crest at Shelby. The team will always kind of choose where they want to go. Then we put it out late Friday afternoon. So, Kyle, thank you for that update 4214, Mountain Island over Winston-Salem Prep. So, on behalf of no one else, because it's just me tonight, I'm the pet man, Matt Morrow. Good night, everybody. Thanks for watching Friday Night Live, the #1 Friday Night Live scoreboard show, because we're the only one. Appreciate it.